If you're looking for a guide to the succession laws for the Sims 4 Legacy Challenge, then you're in the right place. Coming up. Hi, I'm Ouiza and welcome back to OuiSims, an online community where I help you explore simulation games like the Sims series in a fun and interactive way. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos just like this one, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Welcome to part 3 of the Sims 4 Legacy Challenge guide. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2 already, I will leave a little link up here, so be sure to check those out if you want to see the entire series, or if you just want to learn about succession laws, then you're in the right place. The Sims 4 Legacy Challenge website describes succession laws as the personality of your family, and it can't actually be changed once you've decided on them at the start of your game. And the purpose of succession laws is to help you determine who is and who is not eligible to become an heir. There are 3 standard components to the succession law, with a 4th law applicable for those of you who have yet to work, or vampires, or island living. The succession laws of your family are divided into 4 different components. 1 is your gender law, 2 is your bloodline law, 3 is your heir law, and 4 is your species law. And this is applicable to you if you have downloadable content that provides you with additional life states like vampires, aliens, or mermaids. Some of these laws have the potential to change who your heir will be mid-generation, and the title of heir will continue to shift between eligible children until one of 2 conditions are met. Number 1, the previous generation's heir dies, or number 2, the current heir brings in an eligible child for the next generation. Once one of these 2 events happen, the title of heir is locked in, and irrespective of what happens after that, this will be your heir for that generation. The function of the gender and the bloodline laws is to create like a qualifying round for who of your Sims children are actually eligible to become heir. If either of the laws names a child ineligible, then they cannot gain the title of heir. However, if the child is eligible according to the gender or bloodline laws, it doesn't actually mean that they will become heir. It's the 3rd category, i.e. the heir law, that will actually pick who that heir will be. If you do have one of the packs that gives you other life states, then the species law will also form part of the initial qualifying rounds of who amongst all the children can actually be eligible to become heir, and from there your heir will be selected according to your heir law. The first component of the succession law that you need to decide on at the start of this challenge is gender law, and there are 6 options that you can choose from. You have your matriarchy, your strict matriarchy, your patriarchy, your strict patriarchy, your equality, and strict equality rules. In a matriarchy, the founder must be female, and only female children are eligible to become heir, unless there are no female children, in which case a male child can become heir. This is unlike the strict matriarchy gender law, where if your founder or heir has no female children, then male children are still not eligible to become heir. This is likewise to the patriarchy gender law, where your founder must be male and only male children are eligible to become heir, unless the founder or heir has no male children, in which case female children then become eligible to become heir. Following this, the strict patriarchy is similar to the strict matriarchy in that if there are no male Sims, then female Sims are not eligible to become heir. In the equality gender law, the founder can be of any gender, and children of any gender are eligible to become heir. In a strict equality, this follows more of an alternating pattern, where your founder can be of any gender, but the heir should be the opposite gender to the founder. And this repeats itself after every generation. So if you have a female founder, only male children will be eligible to take over from her. And in the 3rd generation, only female children will be eligible to become heir after the 2nd generation male heir. The second component of your succession laws is your bloodline law. And here you have 5 options. You have strict traditional, modern, foster, and strict foster. In a strictly traditional bloodline law, a child must be naturally born from the previous generation's parents and be able to trace an unbroken lineage back to the founder. Therefore, adopted children may never become heir. The traditional bloodline law stipulates that children who are naturally born from the previous generation's parents are eligible to be named heir. Adopted children are therefore ineligible to be named heir unless there are no naturally born children from the previous generation's heirs. In the modern bloodline law, it's fairly straightforward. Both naturally born and adopted children are eligible to become heir. And in the foster bloodline law, only children who are adopted are eligible to be named heir, unless no children were adopted, in which case naturally conceived children from the previous generation's parents may be considered to be heirs. The strict foster bloodline law says that only adopted children are eligible to be named heir, and naturally born children are never allowed to be named heir. The species law, although listed fourth on the Legacy Challenge website, is also part of your qualifying round of succession laws, and that's why I'm placing it in this part. And there are 4 kinds of species laws that you have the option of choosing from if you have the packs that give you different species, i.e. aliens, vampires, or mermaids. You have your xenarchy species law, your xenophobic species law, your brood species law, and your tolerant species law. The xenarchy species law stipulates that your heirs must alternate between human and the other life state in question. The xenophobic species law dictates that your heirs may not be a different species to the founder. The brood species law is very interesting, and it stipulates that the heir must be carried in pregnancy from the previous heir, regardless of the heir's gender, i.e. pregnant male Sims. Finally, the tolerant species law says that the species of the child has no weight in their eligibility to become heir. Finally, there is the Heir Selection Law, and here we have 8 options from which you decide how will your heir actually be chosen amongst the pool of eligible children that have been dictated from your gender, bloodline, and species laws. The heir laws are as follows: your firstborn, lastborn, living will, merit, strength, random, exemplar, and democracy. These are the 8 options that you have that will help you determine who your heir actually will be amongst your pool of eligible children. As the names allude to, the firstborn heir selection law is the oldest child by order of joining the family that is eligible to be named heir. So they fit all the criteria from the other 3 components of the succession laws, and they're the oldest one that fits those criteria. Likewise, for the lastborn, the youngest Sim by order of joining the family who is eligible to be named heir will be named heir. Then you have the living will heir selection law. And this is quite interesting because the eligible child with the highest friendly relationship with the previous generation's heir/founder will be named heir. Then there is the merit heir succession law, which dictates that from amongst the eligible children, the child with the most completed aspirations will be selected as heir. If there is a tie, then the child with the highest level in a single skill will be named heir. Next we have the strength heir succession law, and here the firstborn child is heir by default, but you can take the title by force if an eligible sibling challenges the heir to a fight and wins. That sibling may then have their title taken or taken back if they lose the fight to another eligible sibling. There is then the random heir selection law. Here the title of heir is randomly generated from the pool of eligible children. Every time the eligible pool changes size, the heir must be re-rolled from the new pool. Next, number 7, we have the exemplar heir succession law. Here, at the very beginning of the challenge, you need to name a single trait. And this trait must be one of your founder's 3 traits. Then, any eligible heir, after they've gone through the gender, bloodline, and species laws, and you're left with this. Now, the final category. Any eligible heir that has this trait will be named heir. If a single generation has no eligible children with this trait, then you follow the firstborn heir selection law. And if more than one eligible child has this exemplar trait, then the oldest child of those eligible children is named heir. Finally, we have the democracy heir selection law, and this law can be used if you're displaying your legacy challenge on a public forum, like through a blog or a YouTube Let's Play or live stream, basically any format where you have an audience that can engage with you. The heir is then chosen by your viewers/readers from among the pool of eligible heirs. I hope that you found this overview of the different succession laws in the Sims 4 Legacy Challenge helpful. And this level of complexity is just the start of the challenge, so you can just imagine what the rest of it's going to look like. Today's question of the day is, which of these succession laws have you enjoyed watching or played with yourself? I look forward to reading your responses. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll see you in part 4, the next video in this series, where we'll be covering the gameplay rules. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then. Sul.